The fourth aspect I just wanted to talk about in strategic planning is measurable outcomes. Your strategic plan must have measurable outcomes if it's going to have an impact. Remember, your strategic plan must impact every aspect of your organization at every level. Quite often our plans set goals which are too generic and they're expressed in a way which are very soft. For example, what I said before, employer of choice. So you want the outcomes which you're setting in your plan to be measurable, and you want them to be ones which you can actually almost touch and feel. Maybe let me express it this way. If something can't be measured, it's unlikely it'll be delivered on, and you won't know whether it's delivered on or not. So as an individual, if I do not set clear targets and goals for myself which are measurable, I'll never get there. I just don't have the drive to put me forward. As an organization, if you don't set goals, targets, measurable outcomes which we can actually see and touch and know we've reached, we're never going to get there. So your strategic plan at the end of the day must set measurable outcomes which are being sought so we know we are delivering on them and we are moving forward. It's an essential characteristic of a strategic plan. Specific actions, identified outcomes, critical. The fifth aspect of strategic planning I just wanted to talk about is goal achievement, and it ties back to measurable outcomes. You can't do everything in a period of time. So if you think back to the client needs, often you have organizations which will say, we are here to serve. We want to be able to support every client and meet every one of their needs. We really want to be able to do everything for everyone. Well, that's very expensive and it's very difficult to do, and it's very difficult to do everything for everyone well. The reality is you're going to have to come back and choose who your clients are and what you can do well and focus on that. Goals are a little bit the same. It's interesting, some organizations, when they do their goal planning, and I'll just give you two examples. There was one organization, reasonably large, and they came together and they had a facilitated session, and they came away with 99 goals for the year. And they knew when they came away that there's no way they would achieve any of those 99 goals because there was just too many. And they didn't. When they went back the second year with someone else supporting them, they came away with 5 goals and they achieved all of them. Another example is an organization which did a similar process, but they had not that many goals. I think they had about 8 goals which they had set. So they said, this is why we exist. These are the sort of things we need to do in our business to move us to another level. So let's set these goals. And they came up with 8 goals. But then they went through and said, okay, and every part of our organization, each one of the areas and each one of the sort of support services have got to work out how they're going to achieve these goals. And when that was translated through the sort of day service, the accommodation, the respite, the supported employment, their finance area, the HR area, quality control, they ended up with something like, I think it was about 45 typed A4 pages of actions and things which the organization was going to do. How can you empower an organization and move it forward with such a wide, diverse focus? So much to be done. You can't. So another key to your strategic business planning is to keep it simple and to be focused on very specific goals which you're seeking. So we have an approach where we develop a goal achievement plan. Now, a goal achievement plan, you will see in the back of this booklet when we come to that how we set it out, but a goal achievement plan has a number of key aspects to it. We would recommend that at the high level of the organization, the board, the senior management team, you would set maybe 5 goals for the organization which you're seeking to achieve. 5 key areas you're seeking to make movement in. For each one of those goals, there must be a clear, compelling reason. We are doing this because of this. And if that reason is not compelling, if it's not important, if it's not something which I would say we have to get done, then you know what's going to happen to the goal? It's not going to be achieved. So if there's not a strong, compelling reason which people buy into to deliver on that goal, chances are it won't happen. The second aspect is you have to set a tangible outcome. And we will normally say, look, you may take you 3 years to move to ultimately where you want to be with this goal, but let's set a tangible, measurable outcome at the end of 12 months. So here is my goal. This is the reason why I have to achieve it, the compelling reason. This over here is the outcome which I'm seeking to achieve, and it's quite measurable, visible, and everyone knows what it is. Goal, compelling reason, measurable outcome. You then look at the time frame in between. 12 months, you're going to have your 4 quarters. And each one of those quarters, you have clear stepping stones. And think of them as stepping stones. So I look out over the next 12 months and I say, okay, to deliver on this outcome, I need to, in this first quarter, do this and this. Once I've done that in the next quarter, I'll do this and this. Once I've done those, in the next quarter, I'll do this and this. And think of them as stepping stones. I reach this stepping stone, then this is the next one. I reach this stepping stone, and then this is the next one. And you move people forward and you move organizations forward by taking lots of small steps, not leaping. So your strategic business plan must be translated into what we call goal achievement plan, call it an action plan if you like that, which has a number of very clear goals, measurable outcomes, and shows the steps which we are going to go through. Imagine you have 5 clear goals, you know the outcomes you're seeking, you know the reason why it's so important, so there's a bit of passion there and energy, and you have clearly set out the steps which are going to take place. It's all sitting here in front of me, and as I'm working with all the people within my organization, I'm now thinking of a CEO and the senior management team, I can sit down and say, so how are we going towards this goal? Let's just focus on getting this next step done. What do we need to do? Good, we've now got that next step done. Let's pause. Where's the next step? What do we need to do to go to that next step? And you step yourself forward, step by step by step. If you do that, at the end of 12 months, you look back and say, hey, we've actually delivered on this goal. I don't know how we've done it. And we've done it by focusing on each one of the small steps. Then after 2 years, after 3 years, you'll find changes which you thought were not possible in your organization have been delivered because you've taken it in small chunks all the way through, small steps. Strategic planning must be articulated into an action plan, a goal achievement plan, which is deliverable and can be managed, controlled, overseen by senior management flowing through the organization. We'll normally say you would have a goal achievement plan at that corporate level, and then you may have for each one of the key goals a separate underlying goal achievement plan for each one of those. Maybe it's by department. There could be 4 or 5 departments. It may be 4 or 5 goals, but you don't go down too many tiers. Again, you don't want to end up with 45 pages of things you're trying to do. You don't want to end up with 99 goals. You want something which you're going to be able to deliver on. And you've got to keep that tight.